Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. My name's Simon and this is my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. Happy Wednesday to you all, halfway through the week. I hope you're all well and having a good time. I'm going to do a sort of midweek momentum check. That could well be a thing for me from now on. Midweek, welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. It's the midweek momentum check coming straight up. And the MACD's at the bottom there, and it's going to beautifully demonstrate what's going on with momentum. And before I get straight into it, I just want to remind you, none of this is financial advice, but hopefully it's fun, entertaining, or just vaguely interesting. Okay, here's the daily. So it's all forewarning, apart from the 15-minute time frame, which I'm going to go through, this all looks a bit the same because it's all in the same range. But you can see today, so after Bitcoin had a very red day yesterday, it's got a bit of a pin bar so far with how many hours left? Still 5 hours left, so that could change significantly, this candle here. But it's basically an indecision candle. You see them all over the place. Sometimes you see them in key areas. Sometimes this isn't really, well, it's kind of a key area. But sometimes you just see them halfway through a move. Which is why I am by no means a candle trader. Another one over here, another one there. But all it is just an indecision day. So there we go. Uptrend remains. Okay, down to the 4 hour next. And I think the 4 hour is significant because it definitely broke that trend line after I did yesterday's video. And you can see it's basically been going sideways since. The MACD is hanging on to its location above the zero line, but not by very much, as you can see here on this awesome indicator that was reverse engineered by what's his name? I forget his name now. Anyway, very clever person. I don't know if it's male or female. On TradingView, Caretaker, that's right. One of Caretaker's many amazing indicators. And MACD crosses below the zero line, basically just over 68.5. So about $1,000 away, or just under $1,000 away at the moment, but getting close. The significance of that, of course, is this isn't tradable, but it's relevant. With this being a momentum indicator, when the MACD gets below the zero line, and momentum is much more to the downside, and when the MACD is above the zero line, momentum is much more to the upside. Okay, so break of trend line, and so obviously there's a trend line coming down now, something like this. So we've got a load of triangles sort of forming up. It's not an obvious, this whole thing could become the next high, i.e. a lower high, but it's not too obvious on that time frame, on the 4 hour, which is why I'm going to zoom down to the 15-minute, just to put a meat on the bones. Having said all that, the 4 hour is still significantly above the midpoint, 66,000, and that is significant because below that, it's back down into the bottom half of this range, which clearly has a potential for several $1,000s to the downside, the bottom coming in at 59,000. So it's sort of holding up at the moment, but this uptrend has now been made null and void. Who knows, maybe it goes sideways, but I've got more of a downside bias now, and if the MACD does cross below the zero line, even more of a downside bias. But with a support area expected somewhere between 64.5 and 67, but just 66, makes life easier. Okay, quick look at the low time frames, which is the 15-minute, just to see if we can pick up the trend a bit easier. On this section of price action after it broke the upside move. And not really, it's basically a range. So yeah, it's a range with 70,000 being the high and 67.5 being the low. And the midpoint is along here, which is where all that price action was initially. So it's more of a sideways range at the moment. Clearly, if this starts to close back below 68.5, then that then starts to look like a lower high, and you've got then a couple of lower lows. So, and then you'd confirm definitely that with price action down below this area, that this is continuing as a downtrend and not just a sideways range on the lower time frames. The MACD is up at the moment on the lower time frames. So, maybe this is going to be the next higher time frame low. And that's not impossible either. This could well be a low here with these as the another one in the series of a few higher lows. Could be. But unlikely, as I said, if the MACD crosses back down below the midpoint, the zero line, and or the very low time frames kept below. It's a very similar area, look, 68.5. So 68.5 is definitely a key area. It's the same on the MACD for crossing the zero line and on the 15-minute time frame. Sorry for jumping around between time frames. Try and stay with me. Back down below this area would look like more downside. I would expect it to get some support around the midpoint. It won't exactly be on 66,000. Well, it might be. I don't know. I can't see the future. It's more likely to bounce around a region like this. But you just got to draw. I draw a line because otherwise your chart starts looking crazy. Right, what are we on? 7.5 minutes. Is there anything else I want to say at this point on a Wednesday? Not really. We can check the week. The weekly's basically a pin bar as well. Checking on the weekly. It's just an indecision candle, as was this. This was buying pressure. This was buying pressure. So, yeah, nothing special to say about the weekly at this point, although it's only Wednesday, so talking about that with any authority would be a fool's errand. And there may be many things. I may even be a fool, but I'm not on a fool's errand today. So, I think I'll draw a line under this video at that point. Sorry, there's nothing more interesting to talk about, but you just got to go with the price action, right? So if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'd be very grateful. If you haven't enjoyed the video, then for goodness sake, don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing it all again. All right, take care, guys. Enjoy what's left of your Wednesday.